Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Christopher Munoz, and I am the Student Activities Coordinator at Hoboken High School. It is my honor to MC the ceremony to rename our beloved stadium the Louis M. Taglieri Jr. Stadium. At this time, could the Hudson County Honor Guard please present colors?
Honor Guard, put 10, 2, march, march, go left, go left, go left, go left, march, left, right, forward, look tight, run, detail, hold. Right, hey, honor guard, seat, colors.
If everyone could please rise and remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem, presented by Mr. Stasiak and the Rockin' Redwings. Color guard, honor guard, please retire colors.
Honor guard, look, and good. Left, right, hard, hard, left, 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 go left, hard, hard, left.
Please be seated. Thank you. At this time, it is my honor and privilege to present our Superintendent, Dr. Christine Johnson, to give our opening remarks. Thank you.
Good evening. The Hoboken Public School District is proud to host this dedication ceremony, the renaming of JFK Stadium to the Louis M. Taglieri Jr. Stadium at Veterans Field. Let me provide some biographical background. Lou Taglieri attended and played football for Hoboken High School from 1977 until 1979. He was an acclaimed player, receiving awards such as All-Conference Athlete of the Week and all-conference quarterback and defensive back. Lou knew the importance of education and wanted to be the first in his family to graduate from college. He used athletics and academics to get him there. Lou was a 3-year starter at middle guard for St. Peter's College, being named All-Conference in 1982 and 1983, and All-East Division in 1983. Lou joined the United States Air Force, in which he served as a USAF Air Force armament instructor. While in the Air Force, Lou graduated from St. Leo's College. He had majors in both criminology and sociology. Knowing that he wanted to both teach and coach, Lou began taking education courses, and when he was certified, he was hired by the Hoboken Board of Education as a teacher and an assistant defensive line coach. Mr. Taglieri, teacher, proudly served the students of the Hoboken Public School District for 20 years. Coach Tag, Redwing head coach from 2005 through 2017, passionately led his young men to 4 state championships in 2005, 2012, 2013, and 2015. Personally, I cherish Lou. 2015 was the first year that I took on the reins as superintendent in Hoboken. Lou quickly became my friend, my eyes, my ears, and the gauge in which all others were measured by. He made me feel welcome and a part of the Redwing family from day one. Being a former student athlete myself, we connected on so many different levels. Lou was much more than a teacher, and he was much more than a coach. He was a mentor to his students and athletes and a role model for all of his colleagues. He loved Hoboken through and through. He used to text me and say, "Doc, I have a shirt for you. You need to represent." Well, Lou, tonight we're all representing. I hope you're looking down and looking at all of the shirts. When I was experiencing some health issues, Lou was there for me. He always called to make sure that I was okay. He asked if he or Gabby could bring me anything. I enjoyed being there for him as well. He was so easy to respect and love because there was nothing but genuine, authentic goodness coming out of Lou. The one thing that most people know is that Lou was the first person to greet you with a happy Thanksgiving, a Merry Christmas, a Happy Easter, or a happy birthday text or call. He would always say, "I'm first, right, Doc? I got to you first." And sure enough, he was. There wasn't a holiday or any kind of momentous occasion since I was in the district, or any typical day that passes by, that I don't think about Lou. I miss him greatly, and I know that everyone here feels a piece of emptiness. But collectively tonight, we're here to celebrate his life. This evening, we will have a proclamation read by County Commissioner Anthony Romano and one by Councilman Bill Cohen on behalf of Mayor Bala. We will also have remarks by Lou's daughter Taylor and by Principal Martin Shannon. We will unveil the new signage on the scoreboard, take in a rendition of Amazing Grace, and hear from one of Coach Tag's former players, Daniel Clifford. We will also listen to a message from Lou and close with remarks by Principal Robin Picapietra. This stadium has been a revered location for athletes, coaches, and fans who competed, strategized, and cheered for years and years. In many ways, it is the hub of the community by residents of all ages. Fittingly, this stadium, named after John F. Kennedy, was Lou's hero. He talked about President Kennedy and why he was so drawn to him. I'm confident that both are looking down from the heavens tonight. Kennedy smiling that the passing of this torch is going to a man that left such a legacy on the part of this school community. And Lou looking down in somewhat of embarrassment by all of the attention that's being paid to him. Kennedy's words, as we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest form of appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. These are so fitting. For Mr. Louis M. Taglieri, Jr., he did not speak empty words, he lived lessons of full life. On behalf of the Hoboken Public School District, its Board of Education, administration, staff, students, and families, we remained humbled by the legacy left by Louis M. Taglieri, Jr. We will forever be grateful for his contributions and the impact that he had on all of us. We are so honored to present to all of you this evening the Louis M. Taglieri Jr. Stadium. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. At this time, it is my honor to introduce Anthony Romano, Hudson County Commissioner.
Dr. Johnson's a hard act to follow. Good evening, all. First, I'd like to thank Sheriff Taglieri and the Hudson County Sheriff's Honor Guard for coming tonight. Lou is a distinguished Air Force veteran and would be very proud of the presence and the honor that you have given him. We inducted Lou into the Hudson County Hall of Fame last Thursday, and it was a very emotional time. Coach Hanson, along with family members, gave the words upon the acceptance. And tonight, on behalf of the County of Hudson, our Board of Commissioners, our County Executive, most of all, to my dear friend, Coach Lou, who done so many great things in his life. Yes, he was a great coach as we stand here on the hallowed ground where many Redwing victories and blood was spilled. Coach Lou emphasized what Hoboken, real Hoboken, was and continues to be. He represents the best, not only in athletics, academics, driving students to the schools or athletes where they had to go. Also, myself experienced the same as Dr. Johnson. During some bumps of health, Lou was always there calling, if you need anything, let me know. The man had a heart as big as the stadium. We can never forget him. He made his family proud. God gave him 3 wonderful children who are now, will never forget him. I'm not going to read the words on the proclamation. I think Dr. Johnson said it all. But let's remember Lou for the complete person that he was and continues to be as he looks down on us, along with Coach Dom, I'm sure, his good friend. And as Coach Hanson said, he was always there for everyone. He never forgot where he came from. He represents the best of Hudson County, the best of Hoboken, a continued tradition of greatness, not only in athletics, but to show what we are made of for everyone to see. Lou was everything that embodies what we need to continue to do to make this high school great, not only in athletics and academics. God bless you, Lou, and thank you. And to all his family, we're always going to be here for you. Go get him, Redwings!
Thank you, Commissioner. At this time, it is my honor to present Phil Cohen, Hoboken City Council, with a proclamation from our mayor.
Good evening, everyone. It's a very special evening. On behalf of Mayor Ravi Bala, I want to welcome you all and to offer the support of the entire city of Hoboken and the city government on this very, very special evening. In 2011, 11 years ago, after Frank Sinatra had been the most famous person who lived in Hoboken, Eli Manning was probably the most famous person living in Hoboken. The NFL was in the middle of a lockout. 3 years ago, the Giants had won the Super Bowl, and Eli Manning really wanted to work with his receiving corps to try and get the plays down to have a great season. So Eli made one phone call, called Coach Tag. And Eli Manning said, Coach Tag was so helpful to us. He didn't tell anyone at all. We were able to come in, get our work done, I just remember how excited he was that we came and worked out at Hoboken High. I think it was so important that he told no one that we were able to come in, get our work done. We were there for business. We weren't joking around. We had work to do. And Eli Manning spent the better summer months working with Hakeem Nicks, Mario Manningham, Victor Cruz, who I think perfected his salsa dance in the end zone right here on JFK Field, Dominic Hickson, Jarrell Jernigan, and tight ends Kevin Boss and Bear Pasco. So I'm going to read the proclamation from the city of Hoboken in part, but know that Coach Tag had a role in the Giants' Super Bowl season where the Giants beat the New England Patriots in an unbelievable Super Bowl in 2012, and Coach Tag was a big part of that season, and so was all of Hoboken. So this is from the proclamation from the city honoring the family and Louis Taglieri, Jr. Whereas Louis profoundly contributed to the team's success in large part to his implementation of the weight training program and helped produce many college football athletes and recipients of athletic scholarships. And whereas Louis began his 12 seasons as head coach in 2004 and had a 95-38 record, unbelievable record. He won his first 23 games as Hoboken's head coach, highlighted by a North 2 Group 1 title in 2005. In 2012, he brought Hoboken back to its championship glory by winning another North 2 Group 1 title and won another state championship in 2015. And whereas Louis tragically passed away on August 11, 2020, leaving behind his loving and adoring children, Shane Michael Taglieri, Taylor Marie Taglieri, and Trey Taglieri, his beloved granddaughter, Kennedy Marie Carter, and I'm sure it's not lost that Kennedy Stadium and Kennedy the granddaughter are here together today for Lou and for his family and many other friends and loved ones. And whereas the Hoboken Board of Education is renaming JFK Memorial Stadium to the Louis Taglieri Memorial Stadium on October 21, 2022 in honor of his memory, proving once a Red Wing, always a Red Wing. Now, therefore, I, Ravinder S. Bala, Mayor of the City of Hoboken, do hereby honor Louis M. Taglieri for his unwavering commitment, class, and dedication to Hoboken's youth, coaching 2 of the longest winning streaks in football state history. Louis has left an indelible presence and represents the very best of Hoboken. On behalf of Hoboken residents, I thank him and his family for their dedication to the city of Hoboken. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. It is now my honor to introduce our beloved coach's daughter, Taylor Taglieri.
Dad, we can picture you now, standing there, with your one leg bent, your hand bent on your right hip, and your visor on backwards, and silently feeling, I really do not deserve this. First, my brother Shane, daughter Kennedy, and I want to thank Superintendent Johnson and members of the Board of Education for dedicating this stadium in our father's name and for granting my appeal to say a few words. From his younger days playing PAL football, then quarterback for his Redwings, nose guard for St. Peter's College, to watching his Penn State Nittany Lion, and finally, before leaving the airport, came his decision to become a teacher and pursue his desire to be a football coach at his alma mater. Here is where it all began and where he left, never to coach another team but his Redwings. From summer vacations planned around football practices and camp, food shopping for the concession stand selling 50/50s and Friday night lights up to the first weekend in December, starting all over again in January with weight training, charts in the late evening, and coaching clinics, just a small part of his commitment. Our father lived for and loved football. The one thing that we wanted badly was a dog, but a pet just didn't fit in because of our football lifestyle and activities. But if we did, his name would have been Maverick. Although our parents decided not to have a third child, had it been a boy, his name would have been Trey. But Dad was blessed with another, and he kept to the name. So our brother Trey, like Shane, proudly wears a Hoboken football uniform and plays for our father's alma mater. One would say that came full circle. Although his coaching record and championships speak for themselves, our father was more than a coach. He was a loving father, grandfather, brother, brother-in-law, uncle, and friend to so many. He was always one to make you laugh and give you his last dollar. A man of few words and a heart of gold. To our family and friends who came early and left late on cold Friday nights while cooking and serving in the concession stand and feeding the players after the game, you have our heartfelt thanks and know that our dad appreciated each and every one of you. Friday Night Lights doesn't have the same connotation anymore, but seeing your name on this field amongst family and friends is a time in our lives that we will forever remember and a place that will bring the best memories, comfort, and glory for a man who earned it all. To quote Vince Lombardi, I firmly believe that any man's finest hour, the greatest fulfillment of all that he holds dear, is that moment when he has worked his heart out in a good cause and lies exhausted on the field of battle, victorious. God has you now, but you are forever in our hearts, and as the saying goes, once a Redwing, always a Redwing. Thank you.
Thank you, Taylor. At this time, it is my honor to call up Mr. Martin Shannon, Wallace School Principal, a former staff member for Coach Tags, and a family friend.
Good evening, fellow Red Wings. I am pleased and honored to stand before you tonight for the dedication of the Lewis M. Taglieri Jr. Stadium. This ceremony will pay tribute to the culmination of a man's accomplishments and to the service that we will forever remember. A beloved coach, a fearsome opponent, and a one-of-a-kind mentor to thousands of students and families, Coach Tag always encouraged and demanded of his players and coaches to be consistent. But more than anything else, when we walked into the locker room every day, he lived and breathed family, football, work, commitment, and hope. If there was anything he did on a daily basis, it was consistently that. Surrounding his players with a sense of love, a bond of brotherhood, and an all-encompassing feeling of family. See, around here we have a saying, once a Red Wing, always a Red Wing. Tag believed in that. He lived that. It was matched by only his compassion by which he led. Coach would bring everyone together at the end of practice with his booming voice, bring it up. And when we were ready to dismiss us, he would bring us into one big circle, all hands in, and announce together on 3. 1, 2, 3, together. And we would all break the huddle together. A recent inductee to the Hudson County Sports Hall of Fame, Coach Taglieri's 95 career wins over 12 years, averaging 32 points per game on offense and allowing just under 14 points on defense, brought home 4 state titles and a host of conference championships. But Coach Taglieri's impact at Hoboken went far beyond the confines of the gridiron. Off the field, Coach proved just as prolific in helping his students grow as scholars and as well as athletes. His role in athletics in providing activities along with life lessons was invaluable. We all remember Coach as he taught us that our program was about the friendships we made and the life lessons that we learned, fostering those important connections through the greatest game. While the lessons of all sports carry over from the actual stadium to the playing field of life, playing football in high school helps shapes athlete's fortitude. As you struggle through 2 days practicing 100 degrees heat, you learn to work together and never quit. At the end of the game, when the scoreboard doesn't read what you would wish, you learn not how to lament, but rather how to bounce back from failure and dedicate yourself to improving every single day. While the memories of such time fades as a man grows older, the wisdom he has obtained from the experience will echo throughout his life. You see, success in football requires dedication, heart, and teamwork. Success in life requires the same. Everyone gets knocked down. Accepting that every game will not be a W and that every play will go your way is instrumental in being able to perform productively. Becoming paralyzed by loss is not an option. The same holds true for life. Coach made sure that we were ready for life and that you never took anything for granted. So I've been given with great pride the opportunity to tell Coach's story. The truth is that he was never one for the glory and the attention that came with success. It was always about the kids, how we could better their lives and make them men, ready them for whatever life put in front of them. I think if we step back and use this as his body of work, we will see a great man dedicated to his community. A man with the biggest heart you can imagine. Someone who inspires hope. Someone who will be remembered for the positive way of life that he shaped for so many, as much as the athletic accomplishments that he achieved. A person who makes everyone around there better. A program where we can grow together. And that is the true embodiment of the hope in Redwing. Coach Taglieri's memory will live on in the hearts and minds of those whom he inspired, and now this great stadium will stand true as a testament to his legacy. Thank you.
Thank you, Principal Shannon. Okay, so at this time, if you could everyone can look at the scoreboard. Dr. Johnson, our athletic director, Jack Baker, and Gabby Taglieri will pull the cord and reveal our new sign. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to introduce, it's an honor to introduce, Hoboken Fire Captain Colin Nisbet, and he will give us his rendition of Amazing Grace. At this time, it's my honor to introduce former player of Coach Tags, Daniel Clifford.
I played for Coach Tag from 2011 to 2014. I'd like to start off by thanking the family of Coach Tag for the time they sacrificed for his time to be with us. Shane Taylor, it was appreciated the time and things you sacrificed for us. You guys are older than me, and I didn't get to see you guys while I was in high school, but I had the pleasure of having Trey grow up around us. And Trey, I wanted to thank you for being a little brother. I never had a younger sibling, and excuse me if I get emotional. I never had a younger sibling, so like seeing you around and having you around every practice on the games, you know, I meant a lot to me. And then to Miss Tag, for yelling at me in 5th grade to pick my pants up. To be in front row when I signed my national intent to play Division I football. Coach Tag, his message for the program, we never focused on wins. We didn't like to lose though, but our focus was on, his focus was on creating young men and being great human beings. I'm gonna try to keep it short. I'll tell you a story. So I had a few of my scholarships as my senior year. And I used to sit here after our practice and watch the little PAL guys play. Some of them are probably on this team now. And Coach Tag used to sit right up in that room, in that corner, watching. And I remember one time I decided to go upstairs because I see him staring at me. And I sat in his room, you know, talking about football. And then he asked me, what do I see out there? I said, it's just kids playing football, having fun. He goes, you know, right now you're the most talked about person, these kids. They see you coming into my classroom, talking to coaches, meeting with coaches, seeing that you're getting scholarships. You could be doing more. And he said, if I was you, I'd be pushing that one-man sled back there till your dad was done coaching and go home. And so every day I did that since then, and the message was to the youth that you could be more and you can do what you want if you put your mind to it. I can't thank him, my family can't thank him enough for what he's done for me. Even outside of high school, he took care of me. If I had an issue in college, I'll call him up, he'll help me out. If I needed a job, he'll find me. He didn't just do that for me, he did that for all his players. And we were the fruits of his labor, and he wanted us to be better humans, to bring the community up and keep Hoboken what it is. So this field being named after him is just a small dedication to him because he did so much more. And thank you everybody for coming and to share this great day with his family and all of us.
Thank you, Danny. This next portion of the program, Gabby called me about 3 weeks ago and reminded us that we did a project for the class of 2020. And it was a pandemic year, and the seniors were out, and all the staff made a message and sent their well wishes to the class of 2020. Gabby, thank you for reminding us that it existed. So now we're going to play Coach Tag's final message to his students.
Seniors, whoop whoop. Seniors, whoop whoop. Class of 2020, long time no see. You guys look a little different. You got that graduation twinkle in your eyes. I see that twinkle. Know that Coach Tag is proud of each and every one of you. Also know that you have something in common with Coach Tag. I was also a graduate of Hoboken High School. So congratulations, graduates, and may the road you choose be filled with much success and happiness. Stay safe. God bless. Coach Tag, love you.
At this time, I'm going to bring up, to close us out this evening, someone who I affectionately refer to as the boss, my principal, Robin Picapietro.
Good evening, everyone. I realize this has been a very difficult 30 to 40 minutes, but I also think it's been a beautiful 30 minutes as we have been able to talk about our beloved Lou Taglieri. Gabby mentioned to me last night, it's almost like he's here with us again, talking about him. Listening to what everyone shared and speaking from my heart, the impact Lou has had on our school community and the community of Hoboken is clearly profound. Coach Taggs was one of the most loving and kind people I've ever had the pleasure of working with. I am so thankful I've had Lou in my life and in my school building, and his influence will live on in all those he has served. Each morning when I walk into the high school lobby, I pass Coach Tagg's alumni banner. I think it's appropriate to share what it says. This has been my life. I grew up in this town. I went to school here. I played for Coach Stinson, and then I had the opportunity to coach under him. Such a great coach. I was in the right place at the right time. It means so much more to you when you grow up in the town. You go to the school in the town, coach under the man you played for, and then take over for that person who taught you football. Lou, Hoboken misses you. Till we meet again.
Thank you, Principal Picapietro. This concludes our ceremony. We would like to remind you that if you go outside, the sign for outside of the stadium has been debuted. So please take a look at that. We want to thank everyone for coming tonight. This was a great tribute to a great man. And I know what Coach would say if he was here. Enough, let's play ball. So thank you, Hoboken. Once a Red Wing, always a Red Wing. Lou, we miss you.